Bob Ford of the Philadelphia Inquirer is on the line prior to the Monday Night Football game tonight. How are Philadelphia fans expecting Mark Sanchez to fare this evening, Bob?
I don't think they have any idea, and for that matter, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles coaching staff does. Mark Sanchez's history has been, as you know, up and down, so we'll see tonight.
So what are you expecting then out of him tonight?
I'm expecting him to hand the ball off an awful lot. I think his history is that as a passer, he's really good when he hands the ball off. They're facing a Carolina defense that I think is 25 or 26 in the league against the run. They finally have a settled, pretty healthy offensive line, and they've got 3 healthy running backs. So I expect them to pound the ball.
So what do you make of the conversation that took place last week, Bob, about that Foles was on the way out anyway? And we heard what Chip Kelly said, saying essentially everybody here in Philadelphia knows I don't talk to you, meaning I'm not going to be a source for anything. What came of all of that, Bob?
Well, certainly Nick Foles has had a downturn this year from a remarkable season last year. And no one expects him to throw 27 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions this year. But what he did was not very good, and he's way, way down the quarterback rankings. He's 25th or 26th in the league, something like that. He's 85 passer rating, all that stuff. And so you begin to look. You know, he's going to come up for a contract next year, at the end of next year. And are you going to give him that second contract? Are you going to give him big quarterback money? Are you going to tie yourself to him? And is that going to be right for the franchise going forward? Or do you think there's somebody else out there who might be a better fit and might be more of a safer bet, for that matter, because Nick Foles, as we said, had a downturn this year. So, yeah, that speculation was out there. I don't think it was coming from Chip Kelly, but I think it's just 2 + 2 = 4, that if the quarterback doesn't appear to be a sure thing for the future and he's coming up on that big contract, yeah, there's going to be a question about that.
Bob Ford of the Philadelphia Inquirer phoning in prior to tonight's game against the Carolina Panthers on Monday Night Football here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what do you think the Eagles defense minus D'Amico Ryans will look like tonight against a mobile quarterback, yes, but one that looked pretty horrible in his last time out against the New Orleans Saints, Bob?
Yeah, D'Amico Ryans is a big loss. Chip Kelly called him our Mufasa last week, in reference to the Lion King hero. And of course, Emmanuel Ocho and Casey Matthews are more like Ed the Hyena. They're not just kind of running around back there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a real downturn for them. And what I expect to see is not a whole lot of linebackers on the field. They've been using an awful lot of nickel and dime set, and I think you're going to see that. And you're probably going to see Nolan Carroll, who's one of those dime defensive backs and plays sort of a mini linebacker position up near the line. I think you're going to see him spying on the quarterback. That would not surprise me at all, because he is one of those guys, as you said, you've got to account for. But yeah, without D'Amico Ryans, it's going to be very interesting. They've struggled this year getting pressure, and obviously sometimes getting pressure on Cam Newton is not a good thing because he can elude it very well. So to me, that's far more interesting. That side of the ball is far more interesting tonight than the other one.
Is the city of brotherly love, Bob, ready for the Sanchez era in Philly?
The city of brotherly love is always ready for the next era, to be honest with you. And if this is going to be it, then that's fine. But here's a team that's -10 in takeaway turnover differential. They're still 6-2. They've won with absolute mirrors this year, so there's absolutely no reason they can't win with Mark Sanchez. I'm sure there's a couple of people up in New York who are saying, "Oh yes, there is! Oh yes, there is!" But in Philadelphia, they haven't seen that yet.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate the call.
I enjoyed it, Rich, and good luck in your new partnership with DirecTV and NFL Now. I'm sure it's going to be a great success.
Appreciate that, Bob. We'll chat with you down the line. That's Bob Ford of the Philadelphia Inquirer. At Bob Ford Sports is how you can follow him.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern. On Audience.